Hello and welcome to another video. For this episode, viewer discretion is advised. Today we are going to take you on a journey to Southeast Asia, where a terrifying creature lurks in the night. It's a female vampire that detaches her head from her body and flies around with her entrails dangling below. She feeds on the blood of pregnant women and newborn babies, and can only be stopped by certain rituals and charms. The Penanggalan, a mythical creature deeply enrooted in folklore, is a prominent figure in Malaysian culture, particularly in the regions of Borneo and West Malaysia. Its origins trace back to ancient times, enduring through oral traditions passed down from generation to generation. Over time, the Penanggalan has also found its way into written literature, cinema, and digital narratives, demonstrating its significant cultural impact on Malaysian arts and beliefs. Despite its eerie nature, the Penanggalan has adapted to changing societal dynamics, becoming an integral part of Malaysia's spiritual and cultural heritage. Its longevity speaks to the power and intrigue of the creature among local communities. Legends dictate that Penanggalans aren't inherently evil at birth, but are transformed through certain actions, often related to engaging with the supernatural realm. Varied tales suggest that this transformation can result from an individual pact, a curse cast upon a woman, or even a punishment for breaking a sacred vow. These narratives often serve as moral backdrops, emphasizing the potential consequences of transgressing societal and spiritual boundaries. While the exact origins of the Penanggalan remain shrouded in mystery, the narratives surrounding its creation are often anchored in fear and regret. Becoming a Penanggalan is scarcely a choice, and is consistently represented as a terrible fate, a punishment for meddling with forces beyond human comprehension. The Penanggalan, as described in the annals of folklore, strikes an awe-inducing figure of nighttime terror in the heart of those who hear her tale. During daylight hours, it assumes the guise of an unassuming woman, indistinguishable from any other. However, as night falls, this facade of normalcy slips away to reveal her true form. In this horrific transformation, the woman's head detaches from her body, along with her internal organs, forming a ghastly train that hangs beneath her floating head. The Penanggalan, thus, embarks on a nocturnal hunt driven by ceaseless pangs of insatiable hunger. Her tastes lean towards the specific and deeply unsettling, the amniotic fluid of expectant mothers, and the fresh blood of newborn children. This particular dietary preference, particularly distressing in nature, emphasizes the creature's deeply parasitic existence and its violation of the most vulnerable. The sight of the Penanggalan, a disembodied head trailing a cascade of entrails, is a unique and grotesque image within Southeast Asian folklore. Formerly an ordinary woman, her monstrous transformation into this dreadful entity symbolizes a horrifying perversion of femininity and life. Delving into the mythology of the Penanggalan, we consistently encounter a haunting motif of an otherwise ordinary woman undergoing a grotesque transformation. Such narratives frequently revolve around a woman resorting to supernatural or forbidden means to fulfill unattainable desires like everlasting beauty, youth, or power. However, these tales warn us that such ambitions often herald a nightmarish existence. One of the most widespread narratives involves a midwife who, after striking an unholy pact, acquires the ability to detach her head from her body and prowl unnoticed by night. Her dark secret, however, is unveiled when the unsuspecting husband of a woman in labor glimpses her horrifying form, a disembodied head accompanied by floating organs, as she drank the blood of his birthing wife. In a different and equally unsettling tale, a village woman acclaimed for her striking beauty falls victim to the Penanggalan curse after an interrupted purification ritual. Her enchanting beauty masks her monstrous nature, luring and ensnaring her unsuspecting victims. Stories abound of women turned Penanggalan as a result of seeking forbidden powers, either in the pursuit of eternal life or unending beauty. In their pursuit of vanity, they become begrudgingly tethered to a horrific curse, forcing them to prey on innocent lives, specifically the unborn and recently born infants. Over the centuries, these narratives have not only embedded themselves in the local folklore, but have also influenced and shaped community customs and practices. One such belief suggests that a spiky pineapple placed near entry points can deter the Penanggalan, warding off her nocturnal visits. While diverse in their details, These tales consistently portray the Penanggalan as tragic figures subjected to their dreadful existence due to their own choices or circumstances. Rather than innate evil, they embody the fear of breaching societal norms and subverting one's intended role. These narratives pay testament to the societal and cultural context of that period, serving as intricate mirrors, reflecting societal fears and norms. More than mere vehicles for inducing terror, stories of the Penanggalan offer complex characters caught in gripping narratives that are deeply tied to societal norms, beliefs, and the struggles of their era. Passed down across generations, they hold a significant place in the socio-cultural fabric, making the Penanggalan more than an entity to be feared. Beneath the unsettling depictions lies a symbol of consequences for transgressions and a chilling warning against meddling with forces beyond comprehension. These narratives prod us to explore what such creations reveal about their originating societies and the insightful interpretations they offer in deciphering cultural fears, taboos, and beliefs. Before we continue, let's take a short moment to appease the Penanggalan by subscribing and liking this video. It will make her happy and maybe spare you from her attack. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the video. Beneath the terrifying appearance of the Penanggalan, there lies a complex network of symbols representing various fears related to society, culture, and human psychology. This ghostly figure isn't just a source of fear, it's a multidimensional symbol that conveys a warning about the consequences of challenging societal norms and expectations. The Penanggalan can be seen as a representation of a woman who defies the boundaries set by societal norms. Motivated by insatiable ambition, she crosses into the supernatural realm, which leads to her transformation into a monster. In this way, she vividly embodies the perceived risks of going against traditional societal roles and norms. Part of the fear surrounding the Penanggalan comes from her eerie dual nature, as she can appear as an ordinary woman or midwife during the day, but becomes a horrifying creature at night. This unsettling duality reflects society's discomfort with the familiar turning into something strange and threatening. The Penanggalan's preference for targeting pregnant women and newborn infants symbolizes the anxieties of the era related to childbirth. In a time when modern medical knowledge and facilities were lacking, this figure embodies the very real fear of maternal mortality and complications during childbirth. In predominantly male-dominated societies, the Penanggalan represents the unease around women's autonomy and power. Especially as a midwife, she embodies a subversive image of women breaking traditional roles and having significant control over life and death. This image underscores societal apprehension about women encroaching upon domains typically controlled by men or divine entities. From a spiritual perspective, the origin of the Penanggalan, often tied to curses or broken pacts, illustrates the dire consequences of engaging in forbidden practices or violating religious boundaries. From a medical history standpoint, the Penanggalan's association with affliction and death, particularly in the context of pregnant women and newborns, can be seen as a metaphor for diseases or health crises. This interpretation is reinforced by the unique defensive methods employed in folklore to protect against the Penanggalan. Distinctive protective measures against the Penanggalan have been described in various tales, rooted in local customs and traditional beliefs. The creature's aversion to seemingly ordinary items such as pineapples, garlic, or thorny leaves have prominent cultural and medicinal connotations. These materials are believed to serve as effective deterrents against the Penanggalan. According to folklore, the creature's exposed and trailing organs might get damaged by the sharp, prickly defenses of these items. For example, a pineapple's spiky exterior or the sharp edges of broken glass kept in windows are believed to injure the Penanggalan, thus warding off her nocturnal hunts. Meanwhile, substances like garlic, known for its medicinal properties and spiritual significance in many cultures, are thought to act as repellents for the creature. These defensive measures, grounded in the natural and the everyday, exemplify the faith in the protective power of familiar substances within local customs. They symbolize the belief in nature's guardianship and the potency of traditional practices against unnatural horrors. Moreover, these protection methods underscore the fearful respect accorded to the Penanggalan and reflect the collective efforts of a community to guard against malevolent supernatural threats. As is the case with many mythological entities, much of the Penanggalan's lore has been misinterpreted or oversimplified in popular culture, leading to several common misconceptions that detract from the cultural and societal significance of the original stories surrounding this entity. One prominent misconception is the portrayal of Penanggalan as inherently malicious beings. They are often simplified into evil entities intending to induce chaos and fear. However, the original legends paint a much more nuanced picture. The women who transform into Penanggalan are often depicted as victims, ensnared by circumstances or seduced by desires, suggesting an underlying tragic essence rather than an innately malevolent nature. A related misconception is the belief that any woman can transform into a Penanggalan if they fail to observe certain societal norms or rituals. In contrast, the original folklore suggests that the transformation is more purposeful, typically resulting from an unholy pact or a powerful curse invoked to fulfill insatiable desires or ambition. This signals a clear distinction between a casual deviation from societal norms and a deliberate act of supernatural engagement. The Penanggalan has often been indiscriminatingly compared to or interpreted as a variant of the Western vampire myth. Although there are parallels with vampire legends, such as feeding on human blood, the Penanggalan possesses unique traits. These characteristics include originating from a living person and her ability to return to human form during the day. Lastly, the Penanggalan's aversion to items like spikes, pineapple, or thorns is sometimes perceived as random weaknesses that offer protection. However, these elements hold significant cultural or medicinal symbolism in the local context. Understanding these misconceptions is key to appreciating the Penanggalan's true essence and her significance within the broader cultural, social, and historical contexts. Acknowledging her authentic portrayal paves the way for a deeper exploration of Southeast Asian folklore and mythology, providing further insight into the societal values and fears represented in these tales. Now, with a more clarified understanding of the Penanggalan, let's delve into a short story inspired by this supernatural figure. In the secluded village of Santan, Malaysia, nestled in the shadowy hinterlands, a chilling legend was whispered among the villagers. This was a place where urban influences seldom reached, and tales of old were passed down through generations. Sari, a respected midwife known for her ethereal beauty and a heart brimming with compassion, was admired by all. Her skilled hands had welcomed many lives into the world. Yet beneath this adored persona, she harbored a terrifying secret. As night fell and the village succumbed to darkness, Sari would undergo a dreadful transformation. She would morph into the Penanggalan, a spectral figure of Southeast Asian lore, a disembodied head trailing a sinister train of entrails, drifting through the darkness in pursuit of fresh, warm blood. One fateful night, drawn by the cries of a woman in labor, the Penanggalan descended upon a dimly lit hut. A spine-chilling scream echoed through the silent night, marking the beginning of a reign of terror that would forever haunt Santan. The villagers woke to find the lifeless bodies of the newborn and its mother. The once serene village was now ensnared in folds of palpable fear. As weeks rolled in, more children were born and met the same gruesome fate. The cloud of despair grew darker with each passing day. The threat of this nightmarish entity had the villagers ensnared in an unending cycle of terror. Desperate for deliverance from this supernatural horror, they turned to a shaman. In an elaborate ritual performed under an ink-dark night sky, the shaman revealed Sari's dual existence. Shocked gasps filled the air as Sari confessed her dark secret to her fellow villagers. Her next transformation would be her last. As night fell once again over Santan, Sari began her dreadful transformation. But this time was different. Her body, lying empty and vulnerable on the ground, was impaled by a sharpened bamboo pole wielded by the shaman. The potential for her return was cut off. Dawn rose to a macabre sight. Sari's lifeless body hanging grotesquely from the rafters, her entrails still attached to her severed head. The reign of terror had ended, but at a terrible cost. The tale of Sari continues to echo in Santan's rustling foliage and whispering winds. Protective customs are still observed. Pineapples hang above doorways and garlic is woven into floral arrangements as silent warnings against spectral threats. Every birth is celebrated as a victory over the spectral threat that once was. Yet on moonlit nights, if you listen closely to the secrets of the night, you might hear echoes of a drifting, disembodied head, a chilling reminder of a long-lifted curse. The folktales serve as a chilling narrative that even in the face of looming darkness, the human spirit has the power to reclaim light. But remember, when darkness falls over Santan and you find yourself alone on its moonlit paths, beware. Once again, we want to express our gratitude for the time you've spent watching our video. If you want to learn more about the gods, myths and legends from ancient cultures around the world, then we invite you to subscribe to our channel.